As you scale your ecom brand, you quickly realize that the team you had to get you to your first 1K day, or even your first 6 figures, or even your first million won't get you to 8 figures. In this video, I'll break down exactly how I structured my team to build an 8-figure brand at different stages of growth. You'll discover when to hire and who to hire to get to your first 100K month, to 50K in a month, 500K in a month, and all the way up to a million in a month. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap for building a team that drives growth at every level. So let's get into it. Okay, so stages of hiring and team structure. Now there's a lot on this document to go through, but I can't show you all this. This is for the clients that I work with inside of my consulting program. There's a link in the description if you think you'd be a good fit. We only work with brands doing over a million. If you're interested, take a look in the link. It explains it. But in this one, we're just going to focus on this 2.0 stages of hiring and team structure. So stage 1, 0 to 100K per month. Now this is a rough estimate. Once again, this could get you way further than 100K per month. These hires don't happen all at once. This can only get you to 50K till you need to hire. It's different for every business. This is a rough estimate, so take it with a grain of salt. But in general, along my journey of hiring and scaling my brand, this is what it looked like. So essentially 0 to 100K per month. We have you, a customer service agent, a VA, and a video editor and / or graphic designer. Typically a video editor, unless you're very heavy on statics to get you to your 100K per month for your product. Then it would be a graphic designer, maybe both. In my case, it was just a video editor. Now, in this stage, right, you're just doing everything yourself to get off the ground. So at this point, right, you're doing everything yourself to get off the ground, right? Maybe a partner or two that you have, but if you do have a partner, both should be focused on revenue producing activities. There's many times when starting out, one partner does, ops and operations, and the other just does marketing. Issue is, at this scale, even way past the scale, there is no real ops. Like, there's nothing, right? It's e-commerce, right? You ship out the product, you have a supplier or 3PL do it for you, right? So there's not really any operations at all anyways until you're at multi-6-figure months. And once again, this is what's beautiful about direct-to-consumer and e-commerce in general, is that it scales massively because there's not much operations. So with that being said, if you do have a partner, you're starting with somebody, both of you should be producing revenue. And in this stage, it's just creating ads, testing for AOV, conversion rate offers, okay? So all of those three, plus, making better ads and testing ads should be the focus. You don't need anybody for operations. Like, there's no operations, right? You're gonna have one customer service agent and a VA to help you out. Like, there's no operations, okay? So when you hire them, right? Well, as soon as your buyback rate can afford it, first hires are admin and delivery. So your buyback rate is essentially what your hourly rate is that you take from the business. Once again, I go in more detail about that 1.0, but it's basically your hourly rate of what you make, okay? In the business. Now, customer service agent, they handle support tickets, and a VA send essentially everything and anything that is in your delegation quadrant. So there's certain tasks that you want to delegate that don't light you up with energy, that you don't enjoy, and that also don't produce that much revenue. This is what you give to a VA, or what's in the delegation quadrant, okay? So this is managing your email, scheduling calendar, product listing, creating pages, handling chargebacks, checking website, research for you, updating any kind of docs you need, etc. Okay, VA is pretty much anything that you need that's taking away from you creating more ads and testing for AOV conversion rate or testing offers should be given to a VA. All these minuscule tasks that add up, 10 minutes here, 5 minutes here, 3 minutes here, give it to a VA, okay? And last, obviously, is the video editor, graphic designer with the edit ads, organic posts, revisions, etc. So this is all you need to get to 100K plus per month. The goal in this stage is to free up as many low leverage tasks as possible so you can fully focus on scripting and making new ads, and once again, testing to optimize AOV and conversion rates. Once again, at this stage, it's you, maybe one customer service agent, VA, or video editor, graphic designer. Honestly, most people who come to me in this stage, it's just you and they could get to 100K per month. Now, I don't suggest that along the way of getting to 100K per month, you should hire these because once again, they're low leverage tasks and you will scale infinitely quicker if you do bring in the VA, customer service agent, and the video editor and graphic designer. So that's stage 1. Now stage 2, 100K per month to 50K per month. Now at this point, it's still you with one customer service agent, maybe two, but most cases still just one, a VA, a video editor. And now at this point, we add on agencies, typically Google and email and SMS. Now, email and SMS is one agency, right? They should be able to cover both. Reason why I go with agencies is because at this stage, you should still focus on what you do best, which will be Facebook and creating ads and everything around Facebook. There's no point, in my opinion, to go bring Google in-house. If you've never run Google ads before, it's not your skill set. If it is, well, then great. It wasn't mine. And email and SMS is because to do email and SMS properly, there's so many things that you don't know. Growing the email list, deliverability, segmentation, list growth. Like, there's so many different things that I didn't know about that I thought I did, so I tried doing it in-house, and then we actually brought an agency and results skyrocketed. So instead, just get the agency right away. And once again, like, to do email properly in-house, even if you want to do in-house, you'd probably need 1 to 3 hires. You typically need some sort of email strategist, a copywriter, and a graphic designer. So instead, like, just hire the agency, right? So at this point, you're good at marketing. I've gone to enough scale where you should start to systemize your process so you can free up more time to work on improving your funnel, back-end, supplementary channels, etc. So my recommendation is to outsource email and Google to continue focusing on what you were best at. This should be Facebook ads and everything around Facebook ads for 90% of you watching. You can bring email and Google in-house, but like I said, it will be slower to get results. Plus, for email to do very well, once again, you need 1 to 3 hires. Now, the goal here is to focus on improving Facebook, AOV and conversion rate, and start working on your backend, plus expand the channels that support Facebook, which is why we go with Google and email here, because the better those get, the less of a you can afford a higher cost per new purchase for your NCPA for new customers on Facebook, because having Google, email, and SMS will drive that down for you overall for the business. And so you could actually scale Facebook at a lower ROAS without hurting your profitability, right? And scaling more and actually making more profit. So Google and email and SMS help Facebook massively. So we get those up running right away. Typically, once again, even earlier than this, if you could afford it. That way we could focus on Facebook while building out that backend that helps Facebook. So what we're trying to do here, once again, we buy back some of our time with Google email, and we continue to improve creative strategy and testing. We test to improve AOV, test to improve conversion rate, launch Google and Microsoft ads. On Microsoft ads, you literally just import your Google ads with like one button. So just do that. And you launch and improve email and SMS. Now, once again, before 100K per month, you should have your basic email and SMS flows from the very start. They should be set up way before 100K per month, or else you're missing free money if you don't have that. But at this point, we start focusing on sending campaigns, optimizing flows, list growth, deliverability, etc., which is why we take it to the next level. Because before this, usually most cases you just have your abandoned cart flow and those sort of basic flows for email and SMS. So now 250K to 500K per month, right? Now you have the same 2 agencies, customer service agent, VA. At this point, you probably have 2 customer service agents. It really depends on your business or product. At my case, at this scale, I didn't need to hire 2 until we're at 600K ish per month. But for most businesses at this point, you'd get 2. Still 1 VA. Now at this point, we hire a creative strategist. Now they manage and work with the video editors instead of yourself. Now, creative strategist is very fancy, right? This could be a copywriter. This is just whatever title you want to give them. This is somebody who scripts ads and gets content for you. We call it creative strategist, okay? But whatever the title is, they're scripting ads and they're getting content for those ads. So at this stage, incremental lifts and business model improvements make a big difference in growing your revenue and profits, right? Things like operational efficiencies, AOV and conversion rate lifts, split testing landing pages, price and shipping optimizations, launching new SKUs, planning out sales and promos in advance, product development, improving LTV, etc., right? Because at 250K to 500K per month, if you increase your AOV by $5, that makes a huge difference to your profits and scale. Or if you have a cost per good of $20 and you lower that to $15, at this scale, that makes a big difference, right? So we're trying to free up our time and systemize the front end without making that, worse off. So we can put more of our time into those back end efficiencies to improve the overall business model and funnel in general. But once again, do that without slowing down or kind of, making our Facebook ad testing worse. So that's why we bring the creative strategist at this point. Right? So we also need to ramp up content production and testing to continue giving Facebook the assets it needs to continue scaling at this scale. Plus, at the same time, operations are getting more difficult. So at this stage, we have more things we need to focus on the back end. Right? So we make our first big hire in what we call the replacement ladder and systemize our content and scripting by hiring a creative strategist. And once again, I said this could also be a UGC or content manager if scripting plus copywriting is in your production quadrant. So once again, without going into too much detail because this goes in 1.0 sections here, what this means is what tasks do you enjoy the most? Right? If you really enjoy the copywriting, then okay, keep copywriting because that's what you're best at this stage. And instead, hire a UGC or content manager to source the content for you, talk to the UGC creators, etc. So that way you don't have to do that and you have more time to do the scripting. In my case, I didn't enjoy any of those. Where I did enjoy copywriting at first, but after doing it for years, I got tired of it. So I hired a creative strategist and they just did both. But once again, it doesn't have to be that way. That's just what I did. Now, at the same time, by hiring the strategist, we are now delegating the management of editors and graphic designers. So this is our first kind of second layer of management now, because now we took the management of the video editors or graphic designer off of us onto the creative strategist. So now we only manage once again, boom, instead of the video editors and graphic designers being at the side here as well. So once again, for 250 to 500K per month, we're now systemizing the front end testing to improve it, get more content, more ads pumping out, without once again, while we step away from doing that and we take our time back to put into some back end and improving the back end and business model as a whole, we don't want that to stop the progress on the front end, which is why we have to bring the creative strategist. Okay, so that's stage 250 to 500. Now from 500K to $1 million a month, this is what it typically looks like. And once again, the names of these roles could be very different, but this is what it is. Now you have the agencies, still Google and email and SMS. By this point, we usually add in conversion rate optimization. A COO, I put not really though, but I'll explain that. So it's a chief operating officer, but not really though. Customer service agents, at this point, for sure, you have at least 2, if not 3. Typically just 1 VA, maybe 2 if you need, but usually just 1 still. Creative strategists, video editors, and graphic designers. At this point, you probably have 2 or 3 video editors and a graphic designer and not just 1. And then we bring in a junior strategist. Now, this creative strategist manages the junior one. Now, once again, I'll explain what this terms means. It's very fancy terms, but this is just somebody who's making more ads and getting more content, okay? So at this stage, there's a good chance you are starting to hate your work as more and more of your tasks are around managing and you don't feel like you have the time to actually work on what you want, plus think big picture of going to the next level, or at least I did at this stage. So in this stage, we try to free up some of the management, plus continue to double down on Facebook by increasing output. So we do this by hiring a COO, but not really, to manage everything ops related, right? Because at this point, we actually do have operations we need to manage. Now, an actual chief operating officer will be a high six-figure salary, if not, multiple six figures. So instead, assuming you can't afford that, because I couldn't, definitely not, I didn't want to pay that anyways, is you find someone who is hungry and fine doing everything plus train them. So we're trying to find somebody who's just hungry to learn and is fine doing everything anywhere. It's not really a specific role. The way you should think of it is a VA here, a virtual assistant on steroids, right? This is somebody who is doing everything everywhere, but can think for themselves and solve problems around operations before they get to you, right? So you bring someone in, you train them, and that way they manage the customer service agents, the VA, the website, anything logistics with operations, supplier, 3PL, etc. That way you don't have to worry about any of that anymore, okay? And then as well, we bring in a junior strategist to increase the number of briefs we make and tests, plus get more content and to manage creators. Now, once again, instead, this could be a UGC manager, or content manager, and just have one strategist. I went the route because the way it worked out for us is just to go two creative strategists. And once now both of these guys are creating content, creating scripts, getting content from creators, managing creators, etc. So, but instead, it could be, once again, this could be a copywriter and this could be a UGC manager. Doesn't matter which route you go. Point is, you're increasing your output, you're getting more content, and you're outsourcing some of the operations. Okay. Now we hire a CRO agency because once again, at this point, one winning split test could make a huge difference in your results and scale. So it's very important to get done. If you don't do it with an agency, you can do it in-house. But once again, to do properly in-house, you probably need one person managing it, and you will have to hire or at least freelance, some developers for coding on the site and things like that. Because there's a lot of glitches. It's a big headache. And if you set your test up wrong, well, then you're wasting a ton of time and money anyways. Okay. Now, no, this is the route I took as I hate operations as well. All these hires don't happen at once, but once again, as needed. You may not even need a junior strategist and can instead hire a UGC manager, as I was saying. There's many ways to make this work. So your organization chart, right, will look similar but different. It is different business by business based on the needs of the business and the path they decide to take to grow. So instead, for reference, I'm showing you what I currently do. This comes to about 10 people plus the agencies. Now, once again, for you, this could be completely different. This is how it worked out for me. Now, my business can be very different from yours. If you do TikTok shop or you do TikTok ads or you do a lot of organic, well, great. I don't do any of that. So it's going to look very different than this. But this should give you an overview of a picture of how it looks to hopefully point you in the right direction on who you need and when. Now, once again, they're rough estimates. But in general, the progression is to 100K per month is just you. And then as you need a customer service agent, a VA and video editor, you hire them to buy back some of your time. So you put that time into making more ads and improving your AOV and conversion rate. From this stage, 100K to 250, we're doing that again, right? We're trying to now build out supplementary channels that help Facebook as we continue to improve our ads even more and improve our AOV and conversion rate even more. So as we're doing the same thing here, we're just doing more of it, plus adding Google, email, and SMS as a channel and really dialing those in. From 250 to 500, we're doing the same thing, right? But now the back end operations and business model, getting improvements and wins there make a much bigger difference at this scale than they did at this scale. And so what we do is we buy back some of our time by bringing in somebody to help create more ads and get more content and take us out of the picture when it comes to working with the editors, doing revisions, etc. So this will buy back a lot of your time. Typically, you're still making scripts and briefs as well alongside the creative strategist because you want increased output. But now you have some time back to test AOV, etc. Right? Improve LTV, launch new products, test pricing, test shipping, and all these other improvements that make a big difference. Then to $1 million a month, we now have real operations. A lot of our time is kind of gone to that. So we hire somebody and train somebody to take over lots of that. We add in conversion rate optimization, and we want to also increase our Facebook ad testing to scale that even further. And so we usually have to bring in another person to at least manage the content and or create more scripts and briefs. And usually that comes with another video editor or a graphic designer as well. So that's that. Hopefully this was useful. Now, once again, I'd go into delegation and management and building playbooks and how I manage people and how I train my team and all this stuff, but I can't give you everything, or else my clients, what would they have, right? What do they pay for? So if you're interested in getting the rest of this doc and working with me to help put this in place for your brand, help scale you, check the link in the description. With that being said, I see you in the next one.